So name and age.
Ben Baker, 27, almost 28.
Okay, so Ben, tell me, how'd you get into logging?
Dumb luck. I was looking for a job just out of high school. I graduated in 2010, and I hung out with the seniors and older guys in high school, and they were all going into logging, and it looked fun. I like the outdoors, so I didn't know what a choker was. I didn't know anything about it. My girlfriend at the time, her godparents owned a logging outfit out of Tillamook, New Generation Logging, and they got sick of me complaining about not having a job, and so they shipped me up there. I packed up a bag and basically moved to Tillamook, and I figured I'd be setting chokers or chasing or something like that. That wasn't the case at all. I got up there, and the next day they took me up to the job, which was probably an hour and a half from Tillamook up to Trask, way out in the middle of nowhere. And they threw me a wad of keys and said, "You're going to be running that right there." I looked at them, I went, "Doing what?" "You're going to learn how to run that yarder." It was a Diamond 210, and I didn't even know what a yarder was. I'd never even been around one or seen one, let alone thought I'd ever run one. And I opened the door and looked inside, and I went, "You guys are nuts." Basically the one thing he taught me when I was there is that don't be scared of it. Just take it slow. It'll be fun. Okay. So the next day when we fired up, I watched as yarder engineer for probably 40 minutes, and it was the most terrifying 40 minutes of my life. I never realized that lines could move that fast, let alone a machine could jerk and pull that fast or do what it did. Needless to say, I didn't run that yarder that day for more than probably 10 minutes, being only like 18 years old. And I've been in one ever since, and it's 2020 now.
That's awesome. So now, how many different outfits have you worked for?
I worked for New Generation Logging, just a few months off and on, 2 different times. And I worked at Kelly Brothers in Veneta for almost 2 years, and I've been with Regrowth for a little over 7.5 years now, running the same yarder there.
So out of all those different outfits, what do you think was probably the most fun to work at?
Probably the one I'm at now.
Okay.
By far. I've learned a lot from my boss and some of the old employees that we've had, and it's been more of an environment that you can work but also have a little fun while you do it and still get the same mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty, well, since I've been there so long, it's pretty relaxed. I know the routine and how everybody kind of works together. It's been enjoyable for me over the years to be there.
Cool. And over the years, you've met a lot of different people, but who do you think the biggest character was that you worked with?
Ooh, hard question. Biggest character I ever worked with. I'm gonna have to say my old hook tender rigging slinger Ricardo, which was the company I'm working at now. He was the favorite. He'd been there a long time. He had other family members that worked there. He was probably one of the biggest goofball characters, but hard-working Hispanics that I've ever worked with in the woods by far. Really set himself out there to do a good job and have fun while he did it. And he was a character. He was a joker. He'd come up behind you and absolutely just run you for a loop.
That's cool. And how do you know this guy over here?
Dustin. Well, I didn't know him until just a couple months ago, basically. We were looking for a hook tender, and the boss found him somehow or another, and we hired him on, and he's been working with us ever since then. Kind of hook tending, rigging, slinging, helping the guys out in the brush kind of stuff. Got him kind of wired into helping me with tubing up and tubing down and that kind of stuff. Still working at it because we don't do it very often. So.
Okay. Cool. And are you guys working clear cuts or thinnings, or what's your main niche?
We do mostly thinning, BLM, Forest Service jobs, but here lately, with the market being the way it is around here, it's mostly snow damage and stuff, and the market's just flooded with it right now, and those jobs aren't paying very well, and the market's just flooded with them. So we actually managed to get on with another company as of lately. We've got two sides, our side and then the partner side, and they work for Gustina Land and Timber, Gustina Resources as well. And we've actually gotten a couple of their jobs lately, which are clear cuts, and they've been really nice jobs so far. Flat ground, basically should be shovel log, but we've been yarder logging.
Oh, cool. So, Ben, tell me, what was your scariest experience running yarder?
Scariest experience running? Okay. I've had a couple of them, but the most scariest one would have been working at Regrowth company I'm at now. We were logging just outside of Eugene, a little ways. It was short yarding distance, but it was downhill. Basically, picture the yarder sitting here, and it just diving off 400 or 500 feet canyon, but you're only hung out maybe 800 total feet, but you're only logging that drop. It was steep enough that the cutters couldn't buck anything. You know, you risk being killed or something roll over on top of you, something like that. So everything was tree length. So as soon, you know, if you've got a machine's got 4 1-inch guy lines, you know, each skyline, and something that big, you know, one log turn even, is still a lot of weight going airborne with no delay. And it would jerk that yarder clean up off the ground against the static guys as soon as it go airborne.
Wow.
And it would pick me up, and it would slam me. It actually slammed me down one time so hard that I broke out the back window with my head.
Wow.
And the deal is, if it does pick up against those static guys should break out front or a bolt come out, the yarder will go over. That is the only thing keeping the bottom drum set from the tube from continuing to buckle over.
And
so
that
it
was-
really freaked me out a lot.
And that was in the 071?
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
And I tried cribbing up. That's usually my cheat, is to crib up the front track, because it makes it harder for it to do that, but it didn't matter in that circumstance, and it made it even worse if I made it to where the skyline would peel off, because then it'd peel off really far and then catch itself, and it would be even more weight bouncing. So I didn't enjoy that job whatsoever.
I bet not. Wow. And any advice that you could think of you'd pass on to a young person that wants to get into logging?
Don't have a cocky attitude. Definitely listen to the guys that have been in the brush a long time, or the older guys, you know, running shovel and stuff. They know what they're talking about. You know, it's not all about, you know, being young and strong. It's about common sense, and that's one thing that I see in today's generation of loggers that we're having issues with. Is common sense is not, it's not there. We're just young and cocky, and we think, you know, pulling a choker and blowing whistles really quick, you know it all, and that's not how this works. It's never been that way, and it'll never be that way. It's, you know, just listen to the guys that have been doing it a while, take some hints, take some pointers, and run with it. Ask questions. Don't just think you know it all. Because, you know, we're having the same problem with the crew we've got right now. It's, you know, I'm not 40 years experienced at it whatsoever, but I've been running yarder long enough to know some tricks and know certain things. But to some of these kids, it doesn't matter. They want to fight and argue with you, and it's just, it's not good. You're going to get somebody hurt or killed, and that's a phone call I'm not willing to make.
Yeah.
I'd rather get rid of you than have to make that phone call if you don't want to listen. Just listen, be smart. You know, your hook tender, he's an experienced guy. Ask questions, just learn. That's all it is.
Well, thanks for that. And real quick, out of the yarders you've ran, what was your favorite machine to be on?
The one I'm in right now, it's a little hot rod.
Right on, man.
Guys don't like 071s, but ours is not a normal 071. It's on an 8240 Terex Cat undercarriage. It's got an 8V92 Detroit in it with a 3-speed Allison. She'll pull, and she's fast.
Right on, man. Well, thanks for giving me some of your time, Ben. You have a great day.